Morning, my wild and beautiful friends. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're talking tuna salad made from chickpeas. This recipe is so simple, so satisfying, and it's the perfect thing to meal prep. You can eat it about a million different ways. Keep on watching to see how we make it. Okay guys, this recipe is seriously so simple. I've got a can of drained chickpeas here. I'm going to throw in some parsley, some chives from my garden, and about a quarter of a small red onion for some crunch. Then to that, we're going to add some jalapenos. These are diced and in juice. I'm not even draining it because I think the juice kind of helps everything get a little bit more creamy. So I'm doing a heaping tablespoon. You can start smaller if you like, but it adds a really nice zing to those chickpeas. And then instead of using like a vegan mayo or something, I'm going to use a little bit of tahini. I ended up using 2 tablespoons for this recipe. I will, of course, type down below exactly what I used. I'm starting with 1 to kind of get everything mashed up. I'm also going to add a bit of Dijon mustard for a bit of a umami type flavor. So this is about a half a tablespoon. Oh, be sure you shake your mustard, folks. Got all the mustard juice. Okay, shaking our Dijon. We're going to put a quarter of a tablespoon in there. And then all I'm going to do is take a handy dandy basic potato masher. I'm going to use it to mix everything up and mash those chickpeas and get that parsley really nice and incorporated. And you can mash this as much or as little as you'd like. I kind of like it halfway between, so our chickpeas are about a quarter of that size. Gets a little bit creamy, but you still have the texture there, so it's not like a hummus necessarily. So once we start to get a bit of a creaminess going and our chickpeas have broken down a little bit, this takes maybe 45 seconds. I'm going to start adding some seasoning. I've got some garlic powder, some freshly ground black pepper, and some freshly ground pink Himalayan sea salt. We're going to get those in. I'm just going to start pretty modestly and mix them up a little bit more. And then once we've got that mixed, I'm going to do a bit of a taste test and see if I needed to add a little bit more salt. At this point, I also added a little bit more tahini to get it up to that 2 tablespoons. So we have a nice creaminess factor. You can go about a million different directions with this recipe. Super versatile. I really like the spiciness of the jalapeno, but I also love doing it with fresh dill, lemon, and pickles if you're into that type of a tuna type salad. I'll type down below some variations, but this is just so hearty and delicious, and it's just so good for you. It's all whole plant-based foods. I'm just adding in a squeeze of lime at the end to brighten everything up. Between that and the parsley is just so fresh tasting. We're looking good. It's nice and creamy. So now there's also a million other ways to eat this. I'm going to show you my 2 favorite ways to do it. I do like to make this in a decent sized batch so I can eat it throughout the week in different ways. Give it another taste test to make sure we've got plenty of seasoning. We're looking good. Okay, on to my 2 favorite ways. These are so fun to prep. I'm just going to make a little zucchini boat so I can make these in the morning and have a really healthy, pretty low carb snack. Just got a regular cucumber here, and I'm going to take my spoon and scoop out the seeds. You can put these in your compost. I actually just like to eat the middles while I'm making them. So I'm going to scoop these out, eat that little middle part, super hydrating. We're going to make a little dent to put our chickpea tuna salad in. So I'm just going to take our mixture here and pile it into that half moon shape so we can get a nice and full cucumber boat. Super yummy. The crunch of the cucumber is amazing with all the flavors that are going on. It's nice and bright. You can totally do this in bell peppers or romaine to make like a little crunchy romaine wrap. I also love it on top of salad. Get a nice little protein-packed, creamy goodness to put on top of there. I like to put these in a Tupperware and just take them with me if I'm going somewhere. It's a really satisfying snack. My next favorite way to eat this chickpea tuna is to make a kind of like tuna melt wrap. It's super simple, also chock full of vegetables. So I have got a organic flour tortilla here. Use whatever type of tortilla you'd like. I'm going to lay out some red onion rings here because I love my tuna chickpea mixture with a whole lot of crunchy, savory onion. I'm going to pile on some of our chickpea mixture. And then on top of that, Just to make sure we've got enough kick, I'm going to sprinkle on some of those pickled jalapenos. You can totally use fresh jalapenos in this recipe. I just love the flavor of the pickled jalapeno. It gives it more of a briny kind of flavor. So I'm just sprinkling on a few of those. And then I'm going to add some fresh tomato. I can't wait to make this recipe once my tomatoes in my garden are ready to go. But these look pretty amazing. And since we're going to toast our tortilla, you definitely don't need to. You can wrap this and just keep it in the fridge until you're ready for it. But I think toasting takes it to the next level. And what also brings it together is a bit of vegan cheese. So I've got this Daya Swiss, sliced Swiss. I'm just going to use one sheet, one piece, one slice. That is the word I'm looking for. Jeez Louise. And it really just brings everything together, makes it even more creamy. So I'm going to roll this up like a burrito and fry it in a pan with a little bit of nonstick spray. I'm going to grill both sides for about 3 minutes each on medium heat until it's nice and toasty like so. It's going to be nice and melty and gooey on the inside, but still fresh with that tomato and onion and crunchy. This is like the most satisfying lunch, and it feels like I'm being decadent with the tuna melt, but I'm not. I'm actually eating quite healthy, so yay. And there you have it, chickpea tuna melt and tuna cucumber boats. Super simple, the easiest meal prep recipe. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope that you're all staying safe and healthy, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Cheers.